At only 28 years old, Aaron Dilworth has already played in a wide range of leagues, including the NFL, CFL, UFL, IFL, LFA, and currently the TAL. Being from Corpus Christi, he considers his biggest achievement being able to be in the room with so many talented athletes, and knowing he can compete with them. On the field, he is energetic and incredibly entertaining, but off the field, he's more relaxed and willing to help wherever he can. To Aaron, the importance of supporting local high school teams is in sharing his mistakes to allow the younger players to learn from them. When asked why he is out supporting young players, he said,
"These kids are the future, and you want the best for them. So as much knowledge as I can give them, that's what I do. The football stuff, that's a lot of the stuff I do know. So as much knowledge as I can give back, that's what I usually try to do."
Aaron also hopes that his support makes the surrounding communities want to support the teams as well. He says,
"It's always good to watch Friday Night Lights. That's the purest form of football."
The positive impact this has on the Arkansas Diamonds can be seen in the energy they display with each other on and off the field. As far as the upcoming season goes, the main goal for Aaron and the rest of the Diamonds team is to bring home the championship to Hot Springs. When asked how he wanted to be remembered, Aaron honed in on the desire to be seen as a positive and kind-hearted spirit.
Recently, Henderson Media sat down with the new ready track coach, Brett Charlton, to feature HSU's brand new track and field team.
My name is Brett Charlton. I'm from Eureka, Illinois. So I had coached at Eureka High School as a volunteer for 2 years right out of college, or 1 year while I was in college and 1 year right out. And then I got an assisting job at Our Lady of the Lake University. I was an assistant there for track and cross country for 4 years. And then last year I took over as the head coach there. So I was the head coach there last season, for 1 year, and was basically there, I think, 5 years and got there in the middle of a season. So really 6 seasons. And I think a big thing for me was school spirit. I didn't really have that where I was at before. You get here, and I went to that pine tree speech, saw all of that, and I just feel like this could be a really, really special place. The facilities are great. Everyone's nice. I think the support is huge, and building a program or doing anything, you can't do it alone. So I think when you have support there, from faculty, staff, administration, other coaches, that's hard to come by in today's day and age. So the biggest thing is getting momentum, and trying to get kids on campus to see it, stuff like that. But I think the school really sells itself, which is big. You don't see, it's beautiful here. You got everyone's friendly. You got a huge variety of majors. Everything's trending upward. So I think with that, it will sell itself. And then, obviously my job as a coach is to sell them on the track side. And but with the support, I think there's always going to be challenges no matter where you're at. But I think here, it's a lot less than, where I came from. So, kind of looking forward to those challenges and, just take it day to day. I think this year we're really just spending the whole year recruiting, and been traveling quite a bit. Next week we have 74, or this weekend actually, we have 74 athletes coming from 4 different states. And for me, I think it's building the relationships with the recruits, is always a fun process. And then, hopefully, when they get here, they can, enjoy the campus and the atmosphere and kind of see the community. I think the rivalry across the street's a huge selling point as well. So, for me this year, really enjoying the recruiting process. And then next year, trying to establish a program and build a culture, a culture built around, ambition and, discipline and things like that. So this year really recruiting, and then next year trying to lay the foundation of this upcoming fall, will kind of be the start when we start practicing, be our first big recruiting class this year. Any of the kids we have on campus will have to use a red shirt year. They can still practice, do stuff like that, but they use the red shirt to save the eligibility for when we have a full team here, next fall. So we had 2 young ladies transfer with us. One was the USTF CCCA South Central Regional Track and Field Athlete of the Year. Last year, she was an All-American 400 hurdler, was one of the fastest in the country at the NAI level. Her name's Aziza Clark. The other one is Lori Turner. She was one of the fastest 400 hurdlers is a freshman in the country 2 years ago and, had some injuries last year, but it's kind of healthy now. So as far as kids that it kind of came in and transferred with us, those are two. And I know the football team's got two jumpers that are pretty good that, hopefully we can get them out here when we kind of start up too. So as of right now, the kids that we have on campus, those would probably be, some of the bigger names. I think there's a lot of things, at least to me, obviously I'm a little biased, being a track coach, but I think it helps enrollment. It's another sport that it kind of gives other kids an opportunity. In today's day and age with, roster limits and all the NCAA changes, it's really one of the first sports typically to be cut. So the fact that Henderson's bringing it back, it just gives kids another opportunity to compete at the collegiate level. And, most of all, get an education. Obviously student athlete is huge for me. The goal is education first, athletics next. But I think when you can kind of give these young men and women, especially kids in Arkansas where they maybe don't have, you only have 2 schools to pick from, now you have 3. So I think giving them an opportunity is huge. I'm just, thankful for the opportunity and, excited to kind of get going and appreciate your time.